Greetings and hello everyone. Today what we're going to be working on is solving multi-step equations. So let's take a look at the steps that we're going to use in solving multi-step equations. So let's start off with step one. So with step one, we're going to isolate the variable term on one side of the inequality using addition or subtraction. And then our second step is we're going to multiply or divide to isolate the variable. So if you remember from a previous lesson, when you multiply or you divide by a negative number, we got to change the direction of the inequality sign. So we have to be careful of that as we're solving out our problems. So let's take a look at the first one. Susie wants to self-publish her comic book. One printing company offered to publish the book for a $220 flat rate. So $220 flat rate plus $3 per copy of the book. Her maximum budget is $400. So I went through, I read through the problem, and I pulled out the information it gave me. So it gave me that $220 was the flat rate, $3 per copy. We have a maximum budget. That means we cannot go over that amount, and that is $400. So let's put this into a problem. So $220 flat rate plus $3 per copy. So we're going to say that the comic books are C for comic book. So every comic book you make is going to cost her $3 on top of that. And that is a maximum. We cannot go below it. So we want numbers that are going to be less than or equal to what her budget is. And her budget in this case is 400. So we don't want to go over that. So there's my equation. So let's solve this equation. So to solve it, I'm going to isolate the variable term by adding or subtracting away the unit term. So I'm going to subtract 220 from both sides. I'm not doing anything with that variable term, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring that down. So that gives me 3c is less than or equal to 400 minus 220 is 180. My second step says to multiply or divide to isolate just the variable. So what number is bothering the variable? It's being multiplied by 3. So the opposite of multiplication is division. I'm dividing through by a positive number, so I don't have to do anything to the inequality sign. I can keep the inequality sign as it is. So that's going to give me C is less than or equal to 60. So what does that mean? Susie can print up to 60 copies and not go over budget. So that's what that means. So let's take a look at our next example. With our next example, we want to create an inequality and then we want to solve that inequality. So the opposite of a number. So I have a number and I'm going to take the opposite of it. So opposite a number divided by 2. So I'm going to divide that by 2. And then I'm going to minus 17 from that. And that's going to be less than 7. All right, so that's a pretty good first attempt. Let's see if we can make it look like something we've seen before. So we got a division by 2. So this is going to be the opposite of x divided by 2 minus 17 is less than 7. There we go. That's something we've seen before. That's something we've worked with before. We can solve this. So I'm going to add 17 to both sides because that's my first step. I'm not doing anything with this variable term, so I can just bring that down. So that's going to give me the opposite of x over 2 is less than 7 plus 17 is 24. Now I want to undo this division. So I undo division with multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 2. Multiply by negative 2. But since I'm multiplying by a negative number, I need to flip this. So it needs to go from less than to greater than. So this is going to give me x is greater than 24 times negative 2 is negative 48. So let's graph that because that's what inequalities have as our solution. Part of our solutions is a graph. So I have negative 44, negative 46, negative 48, negative 50, negative 52. So 48, it's greater than. So that means it's going to be an open circle at 48. And we want numbers that are bigger than it. So we're going to go to the right. And there would be the solution to our inequality. Let's take a look at our third example. So this one says solve the inequality, then graph the solution on a number line. So I have 4x, or 4 times 2x minus 11 is less than or equal to negative 12 plus 2 times x minus 4. So we got to get rid of these parentheses. And to get rid of the parentheses, you want to distribute. So you're going to multiply the 4 times the 2, and you're going to multiply the 4 times the negative 11. Over here, you're going to multiply the 2 times the 1. And you're going to multiply the 2 times the negative 4. So when you do that, 4 times 2 gives you 8x. 4 times negative 11 is negative 44. I'm not doing anything with the negative 12, so I'm just going to copy that down. 2 times 1 is 2x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Let's collect our like terms. So I have no like terms over here on the left, so I'm just going to copy that down. 8x minus 44. And then on the right, I have the negative 12 and I have the negative 8. So that's going to give me 2x minus 20. You'll notice this is very similar to when we solved equations. It's pretty much the same steps. You just got to be careful of that division by a negative number. So I want to isolate the variable on one side. So which one's smaller? 2x is smaller. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Now I'm subtracting, so I don't need to do anything with that sign. I can keep it as is. This gives me 6x minus 44 is less than or equal to negative 20. Next, I'm going to add 44 to both sides. I'm not doing anything with the 6, so I'm just going to bring that down. So that gives me 6x is less than or equal to 24. This gives me a 0 right here. That also gave me a 0. I'll take care of that for you. Now I want to undo what's happening here. So I'm going to undo it by dividing by 6. Now I'm dividing by a positive number. Since I'm dividing by a positive number, I do not need to change the direction of the inequality sign. I can keep it as is. This is going to be x is less than or equal to 24 divided by 6 is 4. So let's go ahead and build our number line. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is less than or equal to, so since it has or equal to, this is going to be a closed circle. And it's going to be less than, so it's going to be values to the left. And that's how you solve multi-step equations. Have a great day.